What's going on, everyone? This is the Go Long podcast brought to you by Hamburg Brewing Company. Stop on in, get yourself some IPAs, some stouts, some sours. Frosty the IPA always goes down smooth this time of year, so definitely check out HBC. And I would think we're going to get some snow, so it'll be a little festive here soon. Right now it's 60 degrees. I was just telling you, Jim, we just did all of our Christmas shopping, most of it pretty much in one day. And it was really strange to be driving around and it's 60 degrees. You can wear a t-shirt. It's nuts here in Buffalo.
No, I'll take this. I'm good with this. You said I'm okay with no snow. I really am. But I know I'm not. I know.
I'm kind of a
Does that make me
cornball
like a Scrooge? Does
Yeah,
that
I mean,
make
it's
me
just
Scrooge though?
it does make you a Scrooge. It does.
I don't want to be a Scrooge, but I'm good on snow. But
After Christmas, I'm done with it. But I don't know. There's something about just something about it, you know. Having kids now too, you're just ripping through all these Christmas movies and talking about Santa Claus. You want a little snow.
No, you're right.
You want it, but
it's part of it. You're right. It's part of it. I guess I'm Scrooge.
Have you seen the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray?
The Bill Murray one, yes.
It's good. It's very good. Yeah, how do you rank your Christmas movies? Let's start with that, Jim. Give me your top 5 Christmas movies.
Oh, I don't even, man, there's no way I have 5. I'm not a big Christmas movie guy. I might be Scrooge.
Really? You're like Isaiah McKenzie, man.
Now that we're having this conversation, I don't want snow. I don't really have any Christmas movies. I guess, I don't know, like
Isaiah was basically saying he doesn't watch any Christmas movies or listen to any Christmas music. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, you're missing out. You got to get in on it.
Yeah, I like Christmas. I mean, I'm excited for my son. I'm excited to see,
You're pro Christmas. You're not anti-Christmas. Okay.
I'm not anti-Christmas, but I may have some Scrooge. I'm having a tough time. I can't back it up right now.
Have you seen Christmas Vacation?
Love Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Good one. I'll put that. Yes.
We're very pro Muppets on this podcast. Obviously, it's come up before. Solid Christmas movie.
Okay.
Michael Caine just hanging out with some puppets.
Okay.
Scrooged is up there. I mean, you got to go Rudolph. Rudolph is hilarious. When you really watch it now, I mean some of the humor.
You're right. I like that one.
I like the head elf, who like teaches them how to sing their songs. When he's just giving it to Hermie.
All right, I'm feeling better. I like Rudolph.
It's hilarious. He just yells at him. He'll never fit in.
Scrooge with Bill Murray and Christmas Vacation. Those are good calls by you. That gets me in the spirit. I do like those movies.
Well, we'll get you in that spirit. We only got 1 week to go. So, we should open with some Christmas music or something. I don't know how you transition from the Christmas season and, gifts and Santa Claus and all this good stuff to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer. Well, at least he can spend time with his family this Christmas. I would imagine, he's got some work to do on that front after, I guess you could say he fondled that girl at his own bar in Columbus. That's the video that didn't really make the rounds. The video that made the rounds, obviously she's like grinding on him and he's like, there's another one that's way worse than that it kind of got squashed, but yeah, he felt up her backside a little bit. I don't know how he doesn't get fired right then. Like, you look at that and you're done. See ya. Peace.
Any coach I've been around, their number one thing is to their players, don't be a distraction. Every single thing Meyer did was a distraction. And it started with the ridiculous Tim Tebow thing this year. Like, that was all a PR. Had to be an Urban Meyer PR. That was ridiculous. Like, that really was an insult to, I'm being serious, like personnel departments. I guarantee you that Jacksonville personnel department wanted nothing to do with that. Tight ends that are fighting to make a team right now that are, good tight ends that were fighting to make practice squads. And that was a straight
Yeah,
I'm
think about all those
disappointed.
tight ends busting their ass out there that are actually good tight
And,
ends dying for a workout.
oh, it's just, I guess that's the side of me. And I'm not upset with Tebow for doing it at all.
No, I
I'm
love
upset for
Tebow.
them even entertaining it. Like it never had it was a straight PR stunt.
Well, and then
So
you
to
have
me, that's
the
just a
strength coach too,
distraction.
right? The strength coach. Why is he your hire?
Strength. So you got
Soil.
strength coach distraction, Tebow distraction. Like, we haven't even got to the season yet, and right away you're distraction. Now you don't go back with the team. No coach has ever heard of that. Nobody does that. And then I mean, he was distant. I mean, the way he looked on the sideline every single time. This is incredible that the Bills lost to this team. I mean, we're going to look back on this game. Maybe not. Maybe it won't matter. But
Yeah.
this is the most poorly run team. I don't even, and they don't even play bad on defense. They're not like a complete. This team is. They are a coach away from not being bad. Like they really are. Though they have stuff in place. Like they have a quarterback that has ability. We haven't seen it, but that job is going to be.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Nathaniel
Hackett could be.
Get him with the QB. Get him with Trevor.
You know, I spent a little time around the Jaguars back in September. God, it was that long ago. The week ahead of the season opener, we had the story on Laviska Shenault. Who, you know, hasn't really been much of a factor. I mean, he's got an unbelievable game. I feel like with the right coaching staff and the right offense, he could be a force. But you could feel hope in the air in terms of personnel. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, we all saw what he did at Clemson. I know you were more skeptical than others on him, but the gifts he has,
he's got a long way.
The right system, the
he's
right offense. You can't tell me that in New England, for example, that he wouldn't be probably doing more than Mac Jones is doing.
Hard. Okay, that's hard. It's tricky. Lawrence has not played. I don't want to blame Urban on everything with Lawrence, but because he's missed a lot of throws when I watch these guys. Like throws, I'm like, really? Like honestly, I would say he's been underwhelming. Like Zach Wilson, same. They both seem very far distant from like getting it, playing fast, and understanding what they're seeing. Both of them, they just seem frantic. Both of them play frantic. Davis Mills has shown me more, especially recently. Now, when he got thrown into the fire here in Buffalo in that awful weather, that was like, I almost don't even, I don't know who could have survived. What rookie would have
David
played well
Culley Bowl.
Well, we all remember it. Couldn't wait for him to get back.
How can we forget?
But I'm just telling you, Mills, when you study him recently, he shows a little Mac Jones to him with decision making, pocket awareness, accuracy, getting rid of the ball quickly. Like I'm watching, I'm like, man, he's further along than Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence as far as just for a guy who was in the third. He's further along than both of them. I'm telling you.
I'll admit,
anyway, we got sidetracked.
Yeah, I was wrong on Zach Wilson, though. It's worth noting.
No, I'm not saying
I got on that hype train late, and
don't write him off, though, Tyler. I'm not writing these guys off yet. I'm just saying, for a rookie season, they all have a long way to go. All of them, like even Mac Jones has. We need to see him play now, like to see where he's at in these big games.
Let's talk about Urban Meyer. We can't get off Urban Meyer quite yet.
So Urban, I mean, go away. Just leave us alone. Seriously, it's enough. You've done it all. Like you've done it all. It's hard to even look at. Like
they wanted him. Ownership wanted Urban.
Every place he leaves, like
I mean, he's going to get a lot of money to walk away. Like he doesn't really have to do anything for a while, probably.
No, ever. Just think about how he left
Florida. It's an atrocity of a hire.
But it's every place. Florida, he left in the shitstorm was coming. Like, let's go. Then he goes to Ohio State. he's part of the cover up for that assistant coach. I mean,
He harbored a
every
murderer,
place.
right? Aaron Hernandez was there
I mean,
in Florida.
yeah. I mean, that's when I was scouting those guys. I mean, I don't know if you could have predicted that, but
Did anybody? Yeah, I mean, real quick, did anybody have any
yeah.
inkling that this dude
Oh,
is not a good dude back then with Aaron Hernandez?
oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I told the story on here. I may not have, but that draft, Coach Payton was trying to call Urban to get the final word, because as the area scout, I could not find one person that signed off on him, Hernandez. And you never got the story. It was just, hey, he lives a hard life. Like, almost they felt bad for him. I know we're going off on a tangent here, but
It's all Urban related.
Urban never called Sean Payton back in that draft. So we took Jimmy Graham.
He never called him back?
He never called him back. And I couldn't. Coach Payton's like, nope, we can't touch him then. If we can't, like, we could not feel good. We couldn't sign off on him. Like, you just knew he lived a hard life. But anyway,
and that's why
it was.
No, that's a great point. I mean, that's why Sean Payton is Sean Payton. I mean, I'm working on this New York Giants story, be at golongtd.com next week for subscribers. Holiday season, good time to subscribe. The story will only be for subscribers. A little plug there, a little marketing. I got to hire a marketing person. It's hey, and you got the Go Long gear on. I love it. But there's a draft selection that they made, and without giving away too much, he turned out to not be a good dude. And the area scout let the team know this isn't a good dude. And I heard it straight from the people who were around him the most. And then they hawed, the head coach said, we do need we could use an asshole. We could use a dog. And I get it. You got to take some risks on personalities. Otherwise, you've got choir boys, out there playing a violent game. You got to take some, but the second time they went back to this guy's position coach, it was right by the draft, right around, the draft was right around the corner. And so this position coach freaked a little bit. It was like, oh, wow, the Giants really might draft this guy. So then he kind of backed off. He kind of said, oh, you get him in the right system, get him in the right culture. And they drafted him, and it backfired. So good for Sean Payton to be like, oh, Urban Meyer didn't call me back on Aaron Hernandez. I ain't bringing him in.
That was probably Urban's way of like, look, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to, sit there and take the call. So anyway.
Justin Herbert just scored. My dad's got him in fantasy.
It's big time in fantasy, isn't
it? That's what our listeners want to know, right? So, yeah. Do you play fantasy football, Jim? And we all know you gamble.
I never could get into that. I like gambling too much.
Yeah.
Fantasy
so Urban, final thoughts on Urban.
Yeah.
Is he
good? I'm
like what's his next move? What does he do?
I hope. Let's just hope that nobody, I mean, he was not even that good on Fox. Like, I don't even know how he had that job. Or ESPN, whatever he was with. I think he was with I think the last place was Fox. But anyway, just go away. Seriously, it's enough. I don't know. It's enough with Urban.
Somebody will hire him, though. I mean, it's going to happen.
Nothing would ever surprise me.
Winning,
Nothing would surprise me.
I will say, just like as somebody in sports media who, I mean, I love a good redemption story. We all love that narrative. We want that. I think all human beings want that. It's just like it's just a part of us. I would just hope that we don't see any more Urban Meyer, redemption stories, because there's been a lot written. There's been a lot said. There's been quite a few TV specials. Like, let's not lionize this guy who's just, frankly, I mean, you hate to say somebody's a great person or a bad person. I think we have enough facts to determine that Urban Meyer isn't a good person. I'm sorry, like, he's not.
I mean, I don't know what else. I agree with it. You can't find anybody.
You don't go back
to
with
say
your team and you're hitting on this college girl and feeling her up, and Marvin Jones, one of the most respected players in the
you never
league,
hear about. Right,
you piss him
right.
off to
Never.
that degree where he doesn't even want to return to the building per Tom Pelissero's report. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but like, there's enough there to be like, if he's not a good person, you don't want him in your building. I don't care how good of a coach he is. I don't care if you're a Division III school in
It doesn't
bum,
matter.
you know what,
It's just treating
USA. Like,
people.
don't hire him. But it will happen. Somebody will do it. And then that
I
redemption
think
story.
the only thing we need from Urban Meyer is to catch somebody, get video of him leaving the shopping cart in the parking lot.
Oh,
I guarantee you he does that.
oh, he absolutely does. He probably takes it one step further. He probably doesn't just leave the cart. He probably does like a little, Chuck Norris style side kick into the opposite direction with the cart.
Do you remember, speaking of etiquette, this is a good one. I'm going to drop a name. A Steeler, he was Todd Haley, I think he was. The Steelers, he was like an OC, I think. He was he might have even been a head coach for Cleveland. I don't know. Todd Haley, though.
Kansas City?
I saw him at Kansas City. He was at a pro day. It was at LSU. And he was standing behind, everybody's standing around watching the workouts. Strange. But anyway, he was drinking a can of like Diet Coke. He put it down like on the field, like on the practice field. It was in the indoor. And he just put it down and left it there, like for basically the student, whoever, the student workers were going to clean it up. And me and another guy I worked with saw it. And we were like, you gotta be kidding me. We were livid. I was like, I'm done. I'm like, that guy, that was just, there's trash cans everywhere. Like, he literally put it on the field. Like,
it's unbelievable.
I don't know. That was a bad one. Anyway, I'm sorry, man. We're all over, but
please inject this podcast with as many of those stories as possible, Jim, because that tells you everything you really need to know about somebody. I'm sorry. I know it's something small. I know it's not,
I haven't thought about that. And so, it just, for some reason, we were just talking about it. It's like, it just hit me.
What wiring is in your brain to think, I will just set this trash down on the ground and somebody else will take care of it? You know what I mean?
Because
I'm too important.
Like
I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered with
it
this.
was unbelievable.
Man.
That was just bad.
Anybody else? Any other just we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves with our asshole of the week segment, but
I think mine's good. That I have to go with that one. I coaches in general, just we've talked about a little bit. They're just very not. They have a lot done for them. I mean, when you live that life, I mean, even we did too. And when you live that life, I mean, you have a lot done for you. And you can almost think that's how the real world operates. It's just not. Football, it's strange. I'm just telling you, it's strange to think like these guys you get every meal, every single thing. You don't really have to think about anything but football.
Mm-hmm.
They're a strange breed.
I mean, we didn't even touch on the reason that he finally got canned in Jacksonville. The Jaguars knew. It wasn't like it was foreign knowledge to the Cons. Like, they knew that this happened because Josh Lambo, the kicker, reported it. But I mean, I think it was Rick Stroud down in Tampa Bay had the story. Everybody check it out. Like, he just kicked his kicker. I don't know. That's Todd Haley multiplied by an upteenth degree there. To think you can just kick one of your players, just kicking them.
Hard to believe.
You know, there's really no two sides to all of this. It's they had to get rid of him. It's terrible. You know what? The next thought that ran through my head though, Jim, was okay. So New England's playing Indianapolis Saturday, and
Yeah.
uh, Kenny Moore for the Colts slot corner was
Yeah.
pretty honest, pretty opinionated
Yeah.
when we chatted for that feature over the off season about how playing for the Patriots made him depressed. He hated it. The culture that Bill Belichick had and instilled there, and how it trickled down to the position coaches. He felt robotic. It felt militaristic. He couldn't be himself. He had to get out of there. He was in a dark place. And I'll link it in the post here at Go Along if you missed the story. But I get that. But I mean, it's not the first or the last time we've heard it. I think Cassius Marsh has been pretty outspoken. We've heard some veterans once they get out of New England or they know players in New England say that guys just don't have fun there. But I feel like Bill Belichick has found this way. I don't know if any coach has found a way to bring like discipline and hard coaching to adults quite like him. Because there are a lot of players who say, I loved it there. We won. He does have this other side to him. I can't see Bill Belichick hanging at a bar, feeling up college girls. I can't see Bill Belichick kicking one of his players. You know, I think he's hard on guys, but it's consistent. And I'm not here to, put Bill Belichick up on a pedestal. I'm just saying that there is a way to do what Urban Meyer thought he could do respectfully and win games. And yeah, you're going to piss some people off like Kenny Moore. You're going to piss people off. You're going to rub people the wrong way. I get that. But there is a lane for, if that's what your approach is, like if you really think you have to be old school and coach hard and be disciplined, you don't think so?
No, I'm with you. That's what makes great coaches. They know how to, you can be hard on guys, but making sure that they know that you care about them. They just want to know that. That's all they ever want to know. If you care about me, let's go.
In college,
are you going to put me in the right, especially in the NFL? Are you going to put me and that's the other thing that players are going to respect about Belichick. He's going to get the most out of. You're trying to go out there, even if it's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
you're trying to show out. I'll go that. He'll use me to my best.
And he's got the baked in winning, the rings, the conference titles. It's
what else can you say?
There's a reason that Matt Patricia goes to Detroit and he can't sell this to a team because nobody's going to buy it. No. He can't. Like, who the hell are you? You can't, I'm not going to listen to you. Like, but Bill Belichick has that. It's almost like Urban Meyer tried to walk into a new place with a new team. And he thought that all these players in the locker room would look at his career in Florida and Ohio State, all of that, and think, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's a winner. I'll do whatever he says. Where do I jump? But they're adults. They're not college kids. They're a little more developed.
Our boy Manhurts is down there. We should hit him up.
Yeah, we should have him on. We should.
I should text him. I wouldn't even want to ask him. I wouldn't even want to put him in that spot. I mean, I would, but I don't.
Hey, you have to.
He probably has some good stories.
They're going to come out too. I mean, now that he's done, I would imagine that's just the tip of the iceberg, and we're going to hear more and more and more. But yeah, I think it just goes to show how hard it really is to I hate saying culture and foundation and all those words, but like it's hard to build a program and nobody.
Jacksonville just can't ever seem to they still haven't understood. You have to sync up. The head coach and the GM have to be synced up. They have to start there.
So Trent Baalke's still there.
If they like Trent, he should hire the head coach. and they should be synced up. You got your quarterback, and that's my whole formula for success. An owner who will spend head coach, GM together, quarterback. Those 4 things. Jacksonville actually could get that if they let Balky hire the head coach.
You like Balky?
I don't know him that well. I respect what he's done. He did some really good things in San Fran. I'm just saying they need to give, well, unless they're giving the head coach, the new coach the power, then he could pick a GM and get Balky out of there. But you can't force it.
Yeah.
Can't force it.
It's got to be defined. I mean, you operated in a world where that hierarchy was not defined.
I lived it. I wish I could tell every owner, look, I lived it. Just start this way, and I promise you, you're going to have a chance. Pick one. Who do you want to have the power? He hires the other. Get a quarterback. Done.
Or, you let the GM and the director of personnel, lead a coaching search, make a recommendation for somebody. You hire that person. That person then assumes a level of power, and then they kick your ass out the door.
And we talked about it, He did the right thing. If he didn't,
I know. I'm trying to get you going. It never works.
No, it's amazing, but it was for the best. It really was.
You're way too humble, and you're way, yeah.
But
I can always tell who listens to this podcast and who doesn't. Like when your name and Whaley's name, and they float on Twitter, and Bills fans get angry. Oh, why would I listen to this guy? It's like, sour grapes. So like, if you actually listen to this podcast, it's me antagonizing you, trying to get you to be upset about it. And you're like, no, we should have been fired.
They basically did exactly what we just said. The coach picked the G. That's fine. He got the power. Doug and I out the door. Bring in Bean. They have a relationship. Get your quarterback. They got him. It's set. The Bills are set for success.
Are they?
I think they are. I do. I still believe in them. I believe in them this year still. I don't understand how.
A little bit of a lock.
I don't know how to. I don't even know how to explain
jaw of a jam there.
I really just believe in Josh Allen and the defense. I believe in it. I think they still have a good formula for success in the playoffs.
You were pretty angry after that Patriots game.
I was more angry after Tampa. I had them in the money line. If it was going to be every single bet I had, I just thought the Bills were going to win that game.
Let's talk about that game. So 24-3, we're texting. Neither one of us can believe what we're seeing. You have Sean McDermott, kicking and punting and giving it to Matt Breida on 4th and 2 when he does go for it.
That's been the takeaway.
And then they turn it on. And then Josh Allen turns it on, and he's unbelievable. He suffers the injury. He plays through it. He's running for 100 yards. He's throwing for 300 yards. He's putting the team on his back. I think it was probably the best game that I've seen Josh Allen play. I really think that. I know statistically he's had better games, and he's obviously
not about that. Just what he was doing against the quality team, and
completely.
That was
completely.
No,
given the circumstances.
I think all that game did was make me get upset about the first half. Like, why so bad? Like, how can you have those two different halves? Like, you can't go from this. Like, it doesn't have to be a disaster. Yeah, maybe you're fighting through some things, but it was like the Bills. That was a complete disaster in the first half.
I think that Josh Allen probably drags the Bills into the postseason, on his back some way, somehow. You look at the schedule. I know you're high on Carolina's defense, but I can't see Carolina winning this game.
That offense is an embarrassment. They are not even it's not even a functional offense right now. Yeah. They have some talent, but no, the quarterback situation is a disaster.
So the Bills were pretty chipper out of that Tampa Bay loss. watching those
Yeah, they
press
seem happy.
conferences from afar, they seemed happy. I'm watching Sean McDermott. I'm like, did they win the game? He was happy.
That's the
He was thrilled.
happiest I've seen it. I agree.
And look, I don't mean to mock him because we've seen this. I will say that when Green Bay won the Super Bowl in 2010, they had a loss to New England with Matt Flynn as the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers had a concussion. They lost to New England. I think one of their linemen returned a kick for a touch. It was a crazy game.
It's amazing.
But they played hard with Matt Flynn on the road in Foxborough. And that loss, in retrospect, players said really is what propelled them. They won a couple games. They snuck in at 10-6. They got hot. They beat Philly. They beat Atlanta. They crushed Atlanta. They took down the Caleb Haney-led Bears for Aaron Rodgers' one NFC Championship victory.
Wow.
And then they took down Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. So it can't happen. Like, look, that Josh Allen is so freaking good. He can get hot, and the defense can at least scrap together a game plan against whoever they play. I'm with you. There's a lane here for the Bills for sure.
That's a great way to say it. That's a great way to say it. It's weird to come away from like back-to-back losses like that and not feel like you're heading in the wrong direction, but it doesn't feel that way. Like it feels like, hey, let's take care of these games and let's just keep. I can't take that long. I can't take that leap though. Still, that was such a bad first half, and that was so bad.
We've talked about where football is at. We're watching Chiefs Chargers right now, so we don't know what's going to happen. But there are teams in the AFC that do play with a level of violence that I don't think the Bills can match. It might not matter, but we'll see.
No, I hear you.
It is a strange time though. I think that everybody was so excited here in Western New York for the Bills all season long. And then, you lose to the Urban Meyer led Jaguars. You get annihilated by the Colts. That Patriots game, the hype into that, it was probably one of the biggest regular season games of the generation. And then you have this heartbreaking loss against the Bucks, and people are still pretty upset about the officiating. I'm sure you've heard that, Jim.
I mean, I was too. I mean, that cost me some money. But I don't like to blame things on the officials. But I thought that was very strange.
The Diggs one didn't bother me that much. I like it. Like, swallow your whistles at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's, it's tough. That call.
I didn't like that the Rams got called for a flag against the Bills last year, right? I mean, that should have been a Ram, right?
Yeah.
Let them play. It comes down to the crew. But I don't know. They're in a weird place right now, and we'll see. I don't know if we'll get much clarity against Carolina, but
no, you just want to get in and get out, get the win.
In the NFC, Jim, does anything stand out? Is there a game you're looking at? Is there a team that you're really watching closely? Is there a trend that is striking you as something
in the
that
NFC?
We should all be paying attention to? Yeah. Let's get into the NFC a little bit.
No, I'm fascinated with the health of Dallas. Like, Dak has to be healthy. That Dallas team, that offense, when they are all healthy, is something I want to see in the playoffs, because I think Dak has that drive in him. Like I said, I would love to see Dak and Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship. That's the game I want to see. But yeah,
Micah Parsons is a beast.
I mean, it's awesome watching him. I know, amazing. Harrisburg, PA.
Definitely defensive rookie of the year, maybe defensive player of the year. I know ESPN was pushing MVP. I won't go that far, but
I don't know about that.
He took that game over. I mean, he was. It's really tough with Micah Parsons. You can put him anywhere. Like, it's not like he's just rushing off the edge. He's not just an interior guy. He moves all over the place. you can't really adjust your protection
No.
and send extra bodies toward him because he's constantly on the move. He's a legit star. He's a
He
player that
is.
every coordinator, every
He
offense has
is.
to account for.
He's
And
Miles
I'm there with you
Garrett.
on Dallas. Like he makes that defense different alone, him himself.
But it's like I don't know. I don't know if that was answering your question. I was just thinking about the NFC. I don't know these teams that in the AFC. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I still think the Bills have a shot. Like they beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are loaded. Like I don't know.
All right, here's
I
a
don't know.
question then. I mean, yeah, we might as well bring it back to the Bills. We've got a lot of Buffalo listeners here, and it speaks to a larger point. So Josh Allen's a top 5, maybe a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He has a head coach. Like Sean McDermott's been at it 4 years. He's not changing. We know the kind of game he wants to coach. He's going to be passive. He's going to be ball control. I mean, not that's a bad term, because they don't run the ball at all. And that's part of the problem. They have a team built to throw it all over the place with Josh Allen, and they have a coach who wants to bring it back to 1994. But he still wants to play that field position game, Sean McDermott. He still wants to try to pin teams inside the 20 when they're going to get those yards back in 2 plays.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like maybe you can make the case that this team fought for Sean McDermott in the second half. Like they played hard. They came back. Like when they punted there in the second half, I forget. I think it was it 24-10 at that point?
Yeah.
They punted right around midfield.
Mm-hmm.
You let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bleed 6 minutes off the clock and kick a field goal. Like you have Josh Allen, you have a special talent, and you choose not to unleash him and try to get him as many possessions as possible to win you the game. You could make the case that instead of kicking the field goal to force overtime, that you should go for it on that 4th down at the end of regulation. Like I didn't go that far myself, but you could say that. Like you should. He's that talented, and you have a coach
I
that
disagree with one thing you just said. Hand the ball. Let this guy take your team to where it needs to go. He's ready to do it. He's ready.
He is, and I get it. Brian Daboll's calling the plays, but I feel like Sean McDermott has more of a grip on how a game is played for those 3 hours than anybody. It just comes back to, and we've brought up the Seahawks from time to time. Pete Carroll is going to go down as a very good coach, a Super Bowl champion, all of these things. They won a Super Bowl with the Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch and a young Russell Wilson. And then when Russell Wilson became a star, Pete Carroll still tried to play this ball control kind of game. He didn't just take full advantage of the talent that he had at quarterback. And Russell Wilson's going to go down as a great. He's going to leave Seattle probably this offseason, and we're all going to wonder what could have been if he had a head coach who didn't coach scared. In that Tampa game, I thought that he was coaching Sean McDermott scared. When you've got the baddest dude on the field in Josh Allen, you shouldn't coach scared. Go for it. Right? Like, do it.
This is your chance. Yeah, this is your chance.
I thought they turned that corner. They were going for it last season when they were front running and beating teams by 30. They weren't afraid. For whatever reason, it's just kind of like, I feel like that permeates through every pore of your organization, of your team. Like players want you to go for it at Kansas City, AFC Championship game, 21-9. You drive down the field, end of the first half. Go for it. Just do it. Don't be afraid.
Well, so
and as long as he's the coach, I don't know if they're going to get over the hump. I don't see him changing.
That's what I was going to say. I guess this will define him to you anyway. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is your window. Like, not getting, you got to get to the AFC Championship. I mean, I
That's
really
the
feel that
point.
way.
This is the window. It's open right now.
This is it.
They
This
haven't
is it.
drafted well. They're going to have to start drafting a lot better to compete
And
for
that's
championships now
all.
because you can't sign guys.
Everything's fixable, manageable because you have the quarterback. Everything else can get right.
I
But
wonder
you're
what
right.
happens
I
with
want to see
Stephon
it.
Diggs too. Like Diggs is going to want more money soon.
Yeah.
But right now, they've got the team. They've got a team that can win it all. And why?
Oh,
So why are you
no.
coaching this way? Why are you coaching this
Yeah.
way, Sean? Like, okay, you're chalking this up as a moral victory. Great.
Well, once again, he's going to come back at this saying we had chances to win at the end.
Do you agree with that?
No. I just always try to think like, just like against the Patriots, we only gave up 14 points.
Yeah, but if you took away that Damian Harris 70-yard touchdown, if you just take that play away, when Tremaine Edmonds was in no man's land, and then if you just take that Leonard Fournette touchdown away when he was in no man's land again, then how many plays are we just going to take away here?
No, it's time. I mean, I can't believe I'm still believing in this team, but for some reason, I don't know. I guess it's the quarterback. It just has me.
I'm with you. Like I know I sound like a pessimist, but he is.
Special. He is really special.
Tom Brady will probably be MVP, but Josh Allen was a better quarterback, right? Like,
he's everything you could. I can't believe how good he is. Like, I think that's why it's like, come on, let's go. Let's make a run at this.
Yeah. Who was the MVP of the league, too?
Who's it gonna be?
Who do you think it should be?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I just think he is so much better than everybody else. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even think anybody's even close to as good as him this year. He is playing that special. I just can't get over how easy he throws the ball. In the hardest, like, he can play in any weather. He can do I don't know. There's just nothing. I think he should be MVP.
Are you, I was listening to Michael Lombardi on Mad Dog today. I don't know if you ran across him. He's a fountain of knowledge. He's got a lot of experience.
He's on that VSiN network. He's in that gambling world a little bit. So I hear him sometimes.
When I hear Aaron Rodgers has been incredible. His numbers speak for themselves.
No, that's who I would go. I mean,
but I feel like a lot of times it comes at the expense of what's around him, and like that take kind of baked into the take is a disparagement of Rasul Douglas, getting a pick six, AJ Dillon running people over, Alan Lazard having the game he just had, a third string left tackle, Josh Nijman, stepping up and surviving. I feel like that they can play different ways. Like, he could be the MVP. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But like,
no, and I'm not going to sit there and say
I feel like there's a team around. What I love about Green Bay is this: they can play two different styles. Like, I think a lot of people here in Buffalo are saying, "Oh, okay, so people like us talking about old school football and kicking ass and running people over with a ground game. Oh, you want to do that? Well, how can you do that when you've got a Josh? Well, look at Green Bay. They could play both ways. When they against Chicago, they spread it out and they threw it all over and they burned them through the air.
Yeah,
they are. But if they need to, they'll just give it to AJ Dillon 20 times and he'll run you over when it's 10 degrees out. So you can do both. Like, you can, and they're doing it with linemen. A lot of second stringers, a third stringer. They're doing it with not studs. It's not like a team like the Bills need to go out and draft hog mollies. in the first and second round. Like, it's a temperament, and that's
Is
what
that the
makes me think.
Gettleman? Is that what the,
Yeah, Green Bay can play either game, and that's what makes them dangerous. But Tampa Bay can too. Tampa can too.
I agree. Agree.
I think that's why they're inevitably going to face in the NFC Championship game. I don't think the Rams can play that kind of game. If somebody drags the Rams
What
into the
about
back end. Dallas can, but I can't get past Mike McCarthy. I mean, you know me. I think he will cost them at some point. He'll guarantee another victory, and this 10 will cost him or something. Tampa, Green Bay, and now it'll be in Green Bay again. You know, it's not going to face Tom Brady. He won there at Lambeau last year. They've got a better Fournette than they did then. Green Bay has a better Dillon than they had then.
Oof.
I love it. Go a long road trip when they play.
You
want to go out there? Bring Walter. I'll bring Ella and Sonny and Gina, and we'll just all, throw back some Miller Lights and bratwurst. What do you think?
That's the only way to stay warm. Twist my arm. I'll do it. I'll try some way.
I tell you what, man, it's the people in Wisconsin are special. I can't say enough about it. I loved living there those 5 years. You could go to a bar, Fox Harbor, Hagemeister Park, Washington Street, downtown Green Bay, and instantly just come away with 5 new friends. I mean, it's just shirt off their back kind of people. Everything you'd expect is true. I think they're going to be happy. And maybe Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. I think that's probably going to be Tom Brady, whether he deserves it or not.
That's fair. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to sit there and argue it. I would just.
You know who the best player in the league might be, though, Jim? TJ Watt.
Oh, I wouldn't argue that either. I agree. Myles Garrett would be an argument for me, too.
Man, I mean, you watch a Steelers game and ISO on him.
Watt and Myles Garrett are unblockable. They're unblockable. Like, they are changing games, those two.
Which is unbelievable when you think of what a team can do offensively. I mean, they can send extra blockers at you, and then TJ Watt still finds a way to get to Lamar Jackson in that game and chase him all over the damn field.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's good. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, we covered it. I think we covered it pretty well. Todd Haley.
Leaving his trash for somebody else.
LSU Pro Day.
Man. Well, everybody out there, you can Apple, Spotify, however you listen to this podcast. We appreciate it. We love it. Thank you so much. We're going to have more stories cooking at golongtd.com next week. Like we said, the Giants story will be up there, and we just we hope everybody out there has a fantastic Christmas. Rev up the Christmas movies. I don't care what Jim says. Get in the spirit. He doesn't want you to. He wants you to be miserable.
I'm excited.
He wants you to be a Scrooge.
I feel so bad.
Do you have a song? Is there a Christmas song that you like? Is there one? Nothing?
No, but I like Christmas, like Frank Sinatra Christmas.
Not like All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. That.
Yeah, Mariah's pretty classic. Pretty classic.
We got Ella's got to dance for that song. She loves it. She slow
Really?
motion at the start. Oh yeah, she gets low. She gets into the squat.
Oh, so she's into it.
Oh yeah, you know when it starts slow, and then when it kicks in, fast feet. She's got the fast feet working, and she's all over the place. Oh yeah. Well, her mom was a dancer. Ella's gonna be a dancer. So we're loving it.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Come on over to the house. We'll get you in the spirit.
I feel like I am.
All right. Thanks, everyone.